Every day you wait, a piece of your destiny dies. Not because fate is cruel, but because procrastination quietly steals the life you were meant to live. That's what Napoleon Hill warned. Your only limitation is the one you set up in your own mind. And this is the story of a man who discovered that truth the hard way. A man who spent years putting life on hold until the day everything crashed and he was forced to choose. Stay a prisoner of delay or rise into the greatness he was running from. Stop putting life on hold. Napoleon Hill's secret for giant progress. The life paused. Ion stood at the window of his tiny apartment, staring at the city lights with the same silent frustration that had become his nightly ritual. Lahore didn't sleep, and neither did his dreams. Only he did nothing about them. His laptop was open with over 17 unfinished plans. A half-written business idea, a YouTube channel outline, a fitness plan, a book summary he once thought he would write, a course he bought 9 months ago but never opened. The glow of the screen illuminated one brutal truth. Ion was full of ideas, but empty in action. He kept telling himself, "Tomorrow I'll start. Next week I'll be serious. When I'm ready, when I feel motivated, when life gets easier." But life wasn't getting easier. Motivation never came. And ready was a lie. Tonight, the noise inside his head was louder than the traffic outside. He whispered to himself, "Why do I keep waiting?" But he already knew the answer. Fear, self-doubt, comfort, overthinking. Procrastination wasn't his habit. It had become his identity. The stranger in the bookstore. The next day, Ion wandered into an old bookstore he passed every morning but never entered. Something pulled him in, something he couldn't explain. Inside, the air smelled of dust and forgotten wisdom. He picked up a worn-out copy of Napoleon Hill's Outwitting the Devil. As he flipped through the pages, an elderly man approached, thin, sharp-eyed, wearing a simple brown coat. "You look lost," the man said with a knowing smile. Ion frowned. "I was just looking." "No," the old man said softly. "You're searching." Ion didn't reply. The stranger tapped the book in Ion's hands. "This book," he said, "is about the battle you were fighting." "What battle?" Ion asked, pretending he didn't understand. The man leaned in slightly. "The battle between the part of you that wants to rise and the part that finds excuses to stay where you are." Ion froze. "How do you know that?" he asked. The man smiled again, almost sadly. "Because people don't procrastinate out of laziness. They procrastinate out of fear. And fear is the devil Hill wrote about." A chill ran through Ion's body. "Buy the book," the man said, turning away. "But remember, reading won't save you. Action will." And before Ion could ask his name, the stranger disappeared between the shelves. Conversations with his own mind. That night, Ion opened the book and read for hours. Every line felt like a punch to the chest. The worst of all human ailments is indecision. Procrastination is the thief of opportunity. One who hesitates is lost. Ion felt exposed. Hill wasn't describing society or human nature. He was describing him. The more he read, the more he felt something shift inside. It wasn't motivation. It wasn't inspiration. It was anger. The righteous anger of someone who realizes he's been robbing himself. He shut the book, stood up, and looked in the mirror. "What am I waiting for?" he whispered. No answer came, and yet he felt a dangerous clarity. His life wasn't lacking opportunity, it was lacking decision. The offer that almost destroyed him. Ion had always dreamed of starting a digital marketing agency. He knew the skills, he had the tools, he even had potential clients. but he kept delaying, telling himself he would prepare more. One afternoon, he got a call from his friend Saad. "Bro, remember that clothing brand I told you about? They're looking for someone to handle their ads. I told them you're the guy. They want to talk to you, today." Ayan's heart pounded. This was it. This was the opportunity he kept praying for. But his mind reacted the way it had 1,000 times before. "But I'm not ready. What if I fail? What if they ask something I don't know? Maybe it's better next month." His hands trembled. "Bro, should I confirm the meeting?" Saad asked. Ayan opened his mouth, and the old identity almost won. He felt the words forming, "next week." But then his eyes landed on the open book beside him. "Do it now, Napoleon Hill." He inhaled sharply. "Set the meeting," Ayan said. And just like that, for the first time in years, he made a decision without delay. The breakdown before the breakthrough. As the meeting time approached, Ayan's anxiety exploded. He paced his room. He doubted every skill he had. He rehearsed sentences that suddenly sounded stupid. His voice kept shaking. And then the panic attack hit. His breathing turned sharp, his heart raced, his thoughts spiraled into chaos. What if I ruin everything? What if I embarrass myself? What if they laugh at me? Ayan collapsed on the bed, fists clenched, feeling the old demons dragging him back. He felt like quitting. He felt like calling Saad and canceling. He felt like the scared version of himself was winning again. But then his eyes caught another line from Napoleon Hill. Every adversity carries with it the seed of an equivalent advantage. Something snapped inside Ayan. He sat up, he wiped his face, he closed his eyes, he breathed deeply, and he spoke out loud, almost like a warrior talking to himself before battle. "Fear will not control me. Procrastination will not steer my life. I decide who I become." With trembling hands, but a new fire in his chest, he joined the meeting.